Hello and welcome to this presentation on Dyna Intra-limbal from number 7 contact lenses. In this section we'll be looking at fitting for a reverse geometry design. So this is particularly useful for patients who are, for example, post-refractive surgery. So that's a patient who has a flattened cornea in the centre and a steeper cornea in the periphery. So consider that you're fitting those two distinct areas. You're fitting that flatter ablated area in the centre and the original peripheral cornea in the periphery. To fit the ablated area, you want to get as close to alignment as possible and minimal vault. Overall, your fit should be movement of around 0.5mm to 1mm. And no impingement of the limbus. This is really important. We need to make sure that we don't have impingement to keep the eye healthy and also to ensure enough tear exchange. So your trial lens selection. You're going to be ordering these lenses empirically. To do that, you take central Ks if you have topography and then a reading at the temporal area. If you're only able to use manual keratometry, then you want to take central Ks and then either try to get an off-axis measurement for your temporal measurement or use pre-surgery K readings to select your peripheral curve. It's really helpful when using Dyna Intra-limbal reverse geometry to use diopters to make these calculations easier. Because the diopters are used to determine which amount of reverse geometry you need. Your base curve of your initial lens should be 1 diopter steeper than your flat central K. The way that the reverse geometry is designed in Dyna Intra-limbal reverse geometry is using these series numbers. So we have series A, which is 2 diopters of reverse curve, series B, which is 3 diopters of reverse curve, series C is 4 diopters, series D is 5 diopters, and series E is 6 diopters. So where do we start? Once you have the base curve selected, then you use the peripheral measurements to calculate the series needed. So your temporal K minus your base curve equals your series required. And what we'll do is we'll work on an example so that you can see how that works. So here in our example, we have a patient whose flat K is 40 diopters and their temporal K is 44 diopters. 1 diopter steeper than the flat K gives us a base curve of 41 diopters. The difference between these base curve readings and the temporal reading is 44 minus 41, which gives us 3 diopters. So that would indicate a series B lens with 3 diopters of reverse curve. Total diameter. The standard diameter is 11.2mm, so use that to start with unless you have a very small or large cornea. You can select lens diameters of 1080 to 12mm, so that should cover your small corneas all the way through to your very large corneas. If the mid-peripheral area, once you've received that lens and you're checking the fluorescein fit, if the mid-peripheral area is pinched off, then reduce the amount of reverse curve. So if we had a series B lens, we would move to a series A lens with 2 diopters of reverse curve. If, however, it's showing pooling, then we increase the amount of reverse curve. So if, again, we used our example of the 3 diopter reverse curve, we would go to the series C 4 diopters of reverse curve. Thank you very much.